I've been minding my skin, it's getting thicker, laying my feelings bare. I listen to Dionne Fisher. I'm seeing the bigger picture, to see and believing bigger, acknowledging gifts and all of my blessings. I'm seeing Christmas. When you see me, know I could've just been a product of my environment. Wishing but not desiring, wanting early retirement. Always had direction, so I would rather be Simon. Peers would undermine it, really they just admired it.
And we're back. What episode is this? We don't know. It's been that long. We don't know. But we're back regardless. No, we're going to take it from there. We're back regardless.
No, Kieron.
Why? Why? It's organic.
No, but you haven't introduced the show.
I'm about to introduce it from there.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. You should have let me roll because it was a thing.
No, because usually you don't do it.
Yeah, so let's start again. Yeah, and we're back. Don't know what episode it is, but we're back. It's been a while. Life has been lifing. So yeah, here we are. And this episode is called Being Black in Britain. To my left, we have
Dionne, and this is At Your Big Age.
Mm-hmm. To my right, we have
Stephen. I'm from Relevance.
There you go. And the trio we want to talk about what it's like to be black in Britain right now.
Being black in Britain.
And I tell you, sorry.
No, go on.
I might be very chatty today. I'll tell you where this came from. Right. We had Diane Abbott, the whole thing with Diane Abbott the other day.
Yeah.
And I posed the question. I said, I made a comment on my ex Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And I said, being black is exhausting. It's very tiring. I find it very tiring. Some people got it. Some people didn't. I feel like people were being deliberately obtuse and kind of trying to miss the point. Some people that I wouldn't expect to understand it because they're not black kind of chimed in and said some things. I ignored it. But yeah, so that's how we've gotten here. That's where we're at.
Yeah. So we put it out on the socials for people to kind of give their experiences or their thoughts about what it is to be black in Britain. I just want to read one of the responses one of the first responses I got back actually. And she said, being black in Britain is a burden and wasted. We as people can never be our authentic true self without negative undertones being circulated until it becomes cool by other races. We're never celebrated, and anything black is always met with some resistance. Taking the black out of theatre, for example. Why all the hate for one night for us to enjoy theatre comfortably without having to accommodate any other race or potential feelings? I could go on and on, because on the flip side, I think we as black people invite everyone into our culture with no regard on how they steal and monetize the good bits, and we're here still trying to justify being black. When we know within ourselves we are powerful and chosen by the good Lord above, and don't even get me started on Diane Abbott.
That's how they ended it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, on that note, you know, cultural appropriation.
That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other. And this is why I said to you, this is going to be that episode that goes on for 8. This is going to be like 3 parts.
Yeah, it's
because this is going to go on forever.
It could go on for a while. Okay, so I'll put it to you guys. What was your earliest experience of being black in Britain?
Ooh, you know what? For me, it was when I went on a residential in secondary school. So we must have gone to this place in Surrey, like near Guildford. Mm-hmm. And there was this particular bit where they have this like special historical manor. And we went there for like a science residential to prepare for our GCSEs.
I feel like I went there. Was it like based, like, was the time like based in like maybe the 1800s or something?
Yeah, and they got all these weird little things like butterflies and whatever on the wall. Like,
I feel like I went there.
The brother was a taxidermist or something like that. Like, it was one of them weird halls. Yeah, he was weird. You know, he collects dead stuff. I don't know why, but that's them, innit? So then me and my friend at the time, our teacher's gone, can you see if you can find some rulers? So we've gone around and we're looking for stuff to go try and bring back to the class so we can get some stuff. We found this special equipment, is what he said, just dashed on the floor, just doing nothing. So we're like, we'll just take these. And we didn't notice on the back. We noticed that they had these metal rods on the back. And we're like, well, we don't need these. Just take them off. And they just had to start to blue tack. So when we've taken the rulers and we've gone to go use them or whatever, this guy's come steaming over to us and he's pointing us like, you, stop right there. And he's had this big meeting with all my teachers, and these are black women having to defend 2 little black boys about just taking up some rulers that we didn't know was special, because we asked their colleagues, where do you keep the rulers? And they pointed to the room where we got everything from.
Right, yeah.
So then after that, and this is where I was like, yo, I'm black. It was when I'm going up the stairs and he's coming down, he's got his little daughter with him and 2 other guys. He looked at me, he's like, it's people like you that ruin opportunities for everyone else. And I was like, Like, what do you mean people like me? And I remember I said it to my teacher and she was so vexed. Like, she was so pissed. She was like, we're not coming back here. And she made that happen, that we're not coming back here.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal for him. He's like, oh no, I didn't mean anything by that. Like, all I said was, people like him, I mean rude children who don't know their boundaries. And I remember asking, what was rude about him finding rulers on the floor? Well, that's just what I was talking about. And for me, that was when, I realised, right, I'm black. Like, I'm not just Stephen or just happen to be black as part of my culture. I'm black, like I'm different from you lot.
Yeah.
I don't get that grace even as a kid.
Yeah.
So that for me was my tune.
What about you, Kieron?
I'm trying to think. I got 2 maybe. We had a neighbour. So where we grew up, you got my mum's house in the middle, or the house we grew up in. We got that house there. To the right, there was a family, Yugoslavian family, lovely family. Used to play out with their kids and stuff. To the left was the dad. So you've got the dad, who's essentially the granddad, old Yugoslavian man to the left.
Yeah.
Us in the middle, and the son, his wife, and their kids.
Okay.
To the right. So we're sandwiched in between.
2 families.
Essentially, right? So this side, the right side, we get on with like a house on fire, like I'm in and out of their house. We're on BMX, it's the 80s. We're riding around the block on bikes, there's ice poles, whatever. In between all of this, the granddad, a little bit senile, but you still got enough faculties to be doing what you're doing, would throw like urine and that out the window.
At you?
Because, not at us, but because we lived next door and he wasn't happy with it, he would throw like proper, like you would, the smell of my childhood is not even urine. It's Zaflora. Because my mum would have to get buy the Zaflora, put it in a bucket and rinse down our little black and white tiles.
Yeah.
The little the triangle, like they were diamond shaped, and they make that was our thing. Yeah. So my childhood would just spray, smell. 2 days later, he does it again. You've got the son and the wife apologising for it.
Oh, wow.
In amongst this, there's you black this, you black that.
Oh.
Like livid. But you don't... Not that I'm oblivious to it, but I think it wasn't really registering, innit? Because it's only now, when you're a bit older, you're like, hold on, this man was wilding. So when he passed, it was like, good.
Yeah.
No, for real. It was like, no, for real. It was like, good, because it wasn't a nice experience to have to keep watching your people clean up urine from the man next door because he didn't want you living there.
But I mean, considering he's from Yugoslavia,
but this is why it was so weird, because you'd have 2 sides of a coin, because he was like this, but even like the son, the kids, all of them, they were fine. Even they lived there up until, when did they move? 2012.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like 2012, 2013 even. So they were there through my entire, growing up. My sisters, my brothers, their cousins, my cousins, everybody would be out as kids, summer holidays, riding around. So it was like, it was kind of bittersweet, because you kind of not have to put up with it, but it wasn't really much you could do in it.
Yeah.
So there was that. And then the other one, not so serious, but it's a bit of a liberty now, because if someone did it to my kids, I'll be wilding. 80s, the rubber lip jokes.
Yes.
Do you remember that? When were you born? How old are you?
I'm 1992.
Oh, so you missed it.
I missed that.
1980.
Okay.
Right? 80s.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the
Yeah.
kids would go like standardly.
Yeah.
Oh, you got rubber lips.
Yeah, rubber lips, yeah.
Like,
I forgot about that.
That was our version of your mum. So you see how kids say, oh, whatever, your mum. It would just be in the middle of anything. So you'd be sitting there and kids would... And I doubt half of them were racist, to be honest, because some of these kids are still my friends. We're adults now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they remember doing a lot of this stuff because it was just like you'd get the African jokes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You'd get the...
But then the Caribbean kids were also...
No, but and I was going to say that,
Yeah.
like there would be cross, because you'd even get some black kids doing the rubber lip jokes to other black kids.
Well, now?
No, then.
Oh, then, yeah.
So there was a whole, so it was like, it was just one of them things, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you look back on it now and you're like, that was a bit wild.
That was a bit wild.
Yeah, because back in my time, we were calling each other blip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a thing.
Yeah, like, you got big lips, rubber lips. Oh, your hair, like.
Yeah, I think speaking about hair and stuff, I remember I realised I was black when I was about 5. And I started to go to ballet, and I don't think I noticed that I was the only black girl there, but I distinctively remember these 2 girls. One of them was about my age. The other girl was maybe like 10, 11. And they just wouldn't engage with me, if that makes sense. And I thought, okay, this is weird, but okay, whatever. And they would literally make a point of, nudging me as they walked past. And then the older sister had like a bruise on her hand. And her sister, so the young sister was like, oh, how did you get that? And she was like, it's a black man's pinch.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You remember that?
And she, as she looked me dead in the eye, right? Now, then from that point, the environment was so hostile that I must have said to my mum, I don't want to go back,
Yeah.
Then going to infant school, from infant school all the way up to junior school, up to year 6, I was the only black girl in my year.
Where did you go to school? South?
Yeah, and the thing is, I was in West Norwood as well. So I had black boys in my class, but for some reason, I was the only black girl. So I remember like starting school, obviously I had my hair cane road and whatever. And then like the white girls would sit behind me in assembly or in class and be like, she's bald in between her plaits. And obviously I'm only 5, right? So I'm like, oh my God, I'm bald. So I went home and I said to Mum, I don't want my hair like this anymore. Can you just put it in some ribbons, back?
Yeah, the big ribbons. With the 2 pigtails and the big ribbons. Wilding, school photo day, boy. Wilding. So it was like from the age of 5, that's when I realised I was black. And then obviously naturally being the only black girl in the school, the black boys would fancy the white girls. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So from a young age, it was like, oh, the boys are playing kiss chase. No one's trying to kiss me because I'm the only black, because I'm the black girl. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was my first, I would say, my earliest experience of being black in the UK. Going into like your teens, and I think for men and women as black people, we're going to probably have different experiences, right?
I didn't have... It wasn't even...
You know what? I didn't even experience anything mad.
Neither did I.
Apart from that one, from that thing, I never experienced like you black monkey, whatever. None of that.
Came older.
That came as an adult.
Like uni. That's when I've got. Now you're trying to fight me because I'm black. Like
that came as an adult. My whole school.
Well, that's encouraging to hear.
Yeah, but then my primary school was predominantly white. My nursery was totally white, but they would be. It was that you would see you'd see Chinese people, you see Somalian kids. There were a couple Nigerian kids in there, Greek. So there were a mix. So we were all used to be in and out of each other's houses. There was a Japanese girl. We were tight. So when we got to secondary school, that's when you started seeing like Moroccans and whatever else. So then we'd have our Holland Park. I grew up around the corner. So when we ended up in secondary school, the entire school was like a mix. I don't think there was that many white kids, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
In the grand scheme of things. But even then, my social group was predominantly like white kids. I'd be in my mate's house, mum and dad smoked weed. You know, they're a little bit more lenient. So you'd be in their houses, like there's drink, there's whatever else. But it's not until, I think the first time someone called me the N-word, I think I was 19. And it was the top of my mum's, like the top of the road. From, like, literally, there's a pub at the top of my mum's road. I remember the summer. 17, actually, because it was summer 97, summer 98. And it was a good summer. It was a bad summer for these two guys after they said it, though, I'll tell you. Because that was the first time anybody's ever said to me, and it was because something had happened between two guys and my mum's friend. And I remember seeing this old black guy. My mum's older, innit? So this guy would have been like 60. Sitting on a wall with his head bust, blood everywhere. So I'm like, what's the matter with you? There's two guys across the road. They said, mind your business. The M-bomb. So I said, right, cool, no problem. And then whatever happened off the back of that happened. But throughout the police were called. The police were called. People got arrested. Things happened. Things happened. All sorts of things happened. But it wasn't like I think for my actual childhood, like it wasn't, other than the little bit, the Hispanics. It's a liberty now, you look back on it, but the rubber lip things and the hair it was because they would do that, blah, 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 but then you're in their house at the weekend and their mum's dealing with you properly. Do you know what I mean? So you would get it, but it wasn't anything. And these same people that did it, like I said, we will still talk. Like I know their kids, like we're still tight. We're still tight. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, adulthood.
Because even now, like, even when I look back and I'm proper trying to think, it's not until you get that to the outskirts of like London, you're starting to get N-words, you black this, you that, you whatever.
You start noticing.
Like, hold on, N-word, where did this come from?
Yeah.
Like, because when I was growing up back in South, for me, everyone's multicultural, so it's like, it's mostly black. There's some Somalians, well for me it was Somalians, some Chinese, sprinkles of white here and there, but like predominantly black. But it's not until you went off to uni now, I'm like, oh.
How far did you go?
You know what the big thing? I went Roehampton.
Oh yeah.
I went Roehampton. And this is where you start getting like those little...
Yeah, because you're near Feltham. Yeah. You're near like that direction. They are a bit funny over there.
So I'm in class and I'll never forget this. Like I'm in my lecture and lecturers like putting out a register, and he's doing the register and going through names and whatever. So he's clearly identified who's who. And then we're going through like dialects for poetry because I studied film and creative writing. And he's asked me specifically, no one else, because it's a Caribbean patois piece of poetry. But these times you've got all the white people put their hands up like, I want to see.
Yeah.
So that,
and he was like, no, I want something authentic.
I want authentic.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm like you say it. I'm like, I'm not. I mean no offense to nobody.
You're not West Indian.
But I said, I'm not West Indian, big man. I'm Ghanaian. What about you? But where you say it, she's like, no, I'm Nigerian, so like, and there's a blatant Trini girl literally sitting next to her, she's got the accent, everything, she's like, sir, I can say it. She's like, but where are you from? She's like, Trinidadian. It blew his mind, fam, because he did.
Oh, well, because she was Indian.
Yeah, because she looked Indian. She's Afro-Indian, so in his head, his version of what a Caribbean person
looks like.
It's completely different stereotype, isn't it?
So it's created this awkward moment, and it flagged up to everybody in the room what was happening. So there was a whole complaint, whole debate. anyone who feels like saying it, just say it.
Just say it.
Just say it. And from then on, I was like, yo, this is a bit mad. And then you kind of started to notice that in uni, all the black students would come together and it'd be ACS. And ACS was really, really needed. But then you'd start to notice that for some people, uni started to become a bit of a different experience because you started to realise, hold on, you're black, you're going to get told the N-word, or people started to be aware of white privilege. But before we even call it that term, you start noticing certain subtleties about how you're navigating life compared to your white counterparts.
And if I jump in from there, when I first went to uni, I went to Greenwich. And, sorry, my leg is like...
Got cramp?
Yeah. How are we going to do this? Because I need to stretch my leg out.
Stretch it out. Stretch it out.
Yeah, but...
That's real. We're old now, you know? People will relate to that still. People relate still. So yeah, I get that still. 40 plus. I get that still. My leg cramps mid-convo.
I've got overstretched tendon. I'm 32.
There you go.
So
it's real. It's the reality of it. Go on.
But yeah, so I applied late and the halls were fully occupied. So, you know, like there's like families around that will rent out rooms.
Yeah.
So I found this, you know, this lady, spoke to her on the phone a few times, absolutely lovely. There's nothing about my name that says I'm black, right? I turn up on the day to come and view the room. As soon as she's opened the front door,
Shock.
I'm with my boyfriend at the time. He's like 6'3", dark skin, you know. And she was like, oh. I was like, oh, so, you know, hi, Kathy. Her name was, you know, okay, come to here to see the room. And she was like, oh, yeah, you know, I just don't think we're gonna, I mean, by all means have a look, but someone else has already come, you know. So I was like, we just spoke yesterday. Like, do you know what I mean? Anyway, she showed me the room reluctantly, and she had like 2 teenage sons. Maybe they're like the same age as me at the time. But again, energy was completely off. And then she basically said, she was like, oh, but, you know, if you only live in Croydon, you might as well just stay at home.
I don't want you in my house. Nah. I don't want you in my house. Stay in your house.
Laugh like you're paying, but it's bad.
And I was like...
It's real, though.
Wow. And I remember my boyfriend at the time, he was like, no, F her. Like, anyway, I ended up getting somewhere within uni. But even, like, for me back then, the course that I did, it was very segregated. So you had the Greeks with the Greeks, the white people, and I was the only black person on that course. And I had nobody. And I genuinely feel like if I had an element of community at the time, I would have been able to kind of see it out. But there was nobody for me to bounce off of and stuff like that. Yeah. And I just don't really feel like I was generally treated very well in that, you know, that in the university anyway. But also it was a little bit peak because I'm in the middle of Eltham. That's where Stephen Lawrence was. Do you understand? So it was so, you know, so again, so it's like, I feel like through most stages of my life, although it hasn't been on the majority, there's been enough significant experiences that I've had, whether it's in school, in university, in the workplace. I've done a pod about my corporate working life experience, where there was a lot of, you know, covert racism that I had to deal with, which eventually led me to kind of leave. You know, even after giving birth, you know.
I remember you saying. And I remember when we spoke about it.
You know, there's been so many experiences, but do you know what?
Go on.
At the same time, though, there is something about being black here.
No, but and I said this in the tweet, and I said this. I said, "We won't change it for the world, you know."
Yeah, like
it's tiring and I'm exhausted. But if you gave me the option, I'd tell you nah, because I love it. The fact that we can make people feel so uncomfortable without even trying.
Yeah,
it's like a superpower.
Yeah.
Like it's an unfortunate one.
Yeah.
I'd rather be able to fly or something, but do you know what I mean? It's good because you can see the energy leave some people sometimes just from you entering the room.
And like for me, if I'm somewhere, let's say I'm out of London and I'm blatant, like a couple of weeks ago, I was only in Kent, right? And I've pulled up into the local Tesco to get some flowers. And as I'm just parking up, people are looking at me. I'm thinking, we're in Kent, relax. Do you know how much black people there are in Kent? Like, behave yourself. And I've parked, but then when I get that kind of reception, I'm like, is it? The way I now start stepping, I got my little crop fur coat and I'm like, just stop it. I'm going to give you something now, innit? Like, just behave.
And you know what's mad? Everybody can recount countless stories where something's happened because of the colour of your skin. And people will still tell you that the country's not racist.
Bruv,
literally,
and that's the bit that makes me laugh, because we can list things that have been proven to be racist by people that don't look like us.
You know, but you know what's mad though? I still don't believe how they came up with that mad report saying there's no racism.
In what? We can list it. The Metropolitan Police,
racist.
The Crown Prosecution Service,
racist.
NHS,
Mental Health,
racist.
NHS, the Fire Brigade,
racist.
Schools,
racist.
Prisons,
racist.
Car insurance.
Yeah. It's just we can laugh about.
Hold on, you have to laugh, because otherwise you'll cry and get mad. And I'm not done. TV advertising. I'll give you an example. There's hardly any black families depicted in television adverts.
Wait, when you say black, do you mean
both parents?
Black?
Both parents.
Yeah.
When you check this, next time you watch TV, you watch live TV. Every single advert will have, and there's nothing wrong with interracial relationships. Let me just put that out there. They will have a white guy, a black woman, or a fair-skinned woman, and 2 mixed-race children, right? Or what they've started doing now, they'll have a white woman and a black woman.
And you know what? When they do have a black family, there's always some controversy.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
When we do get levels. When Sainsbury's did the thing the other day, they did a Christmas thing, and it was a Muslim family, and they were black.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
fire and brimstone.
Muslim and black.
And then it went left.
Fire and brimstone. They've started anytime they drop an advert now.
Yeah.
That has a black family unit, they turn the comments off.
Shit.
Because they know and you can check this. Tesco have done it. Sainsbury's have done it. I think Asda maybe have done it. Anytime they'll turn off the comments. When you sit and watch DFS adverts, we don't buy sofas as a family. We shop in IKEA as a family, though. IKEA love us.
Yeah.
IKEA love us. They love us. We're always all over IKEA adverts.
Wow.
Advertising is racist. What else? The music industry in this country, racist. TV, racist. We could list it, but they will tell you
we're not racist.
It's not. Nothing in this country is institutionally racist, and we should all stop. Someone said you're playing the race card. No, not the race card. What's it called the other day? I come across a saying on X. It's not the race card. It's something else. I can't remember. Anyway,
right, pause.
Go on.
Being black in Britain. Being black in Britain is a lot of things. Like, obviously, stating the obvious, being black in Britain can give you like some sort of identity crisis, a sense of not belonging or belonging because you're just confused. Because then obviously we're the minority within the country, so sometimes it's just difficult. So it's like I never knew I was black until like I moved to Eltham. I used to live in New Cross prior, and what I mean by that is my colour wasn't an issue when I lived in New Cross, but when I moved to Eltham, it became a big issue. So obviously it's growing up with that. So for me, like being around white people makes me uncomfortable. Not saying that they're all the same. However, it just makes me uncomfortable and I'm more comfortable when I'm with my people. However, being black in Britain has opened me up to so many different cultures, which is one that I'm proud of. And it's a fact that I love. Obviously, yes, the first 20 years of my life, I would say very sheltered, recluse. All I literally knew was Nigerians and Ghanaians. Obviously, I'm from Ghana. But the second 20, well, I'm not there yet, but the next 15 years of my life has been an eye-opener. Like, I've met so many people from like so many West Indian, Caribbean islands. I've got to know different cultures. I've expanded my knowledge outside of West Africa into East, North, and South. So as a fact of that, like being black in Britain to me on that aspect is nice because obviously we also live in a cosmopolitan city. Does have its advantages as well. So as much as there's negatives, I have also benefited from the positives of that. There's so many different cultures that I can tap into. So many things. I just love to learn. There's so many things to learn. And that there's just literally just more to life than just within your own culture. But however, being black in Britain, sorry to say, can be tiring at times. And it's like you're just always just constantly fighting the power systems, the struggles, the negativity, the stereotypes. And sometimes we don't even realizing that every day of our lives or every moment we're in, we're always code switching. And we don't realize that itself can hold the stress. So to me, that's what it's like being black in Britain.
He's right, because it's not even the battling. You know what's tiring? The disrespect. The constant disrespect. Every single day you wake up, there's something online. Somebody said something. And it's gotten worse now since they've made the blue tick. Since you can buy the blue tick and people are getting monetized, they're getting money off these things, it's gotten worse, isn't it? Because it was bad. This country's been getting more and more racist since before COVID.
But you know what, yeah? There's some things I've seen where people are trying to be subtle because they're afraid of the cancel.
Yeah, but they won't get cancelled. This is where I was going with this as well. It's mad because the disrespect, like, look at what my man said about Dionne Abbott, right?
Yeah.
Whether or not that was last week, 2 years ago, whatever, right? Think about the fallout from that and think about where we are with it now. Everyone's forgotten it for the most part. They're not talking about it no more, right? Even Kemi Badenoch was like, oh, you don't need to...
But we can't even defend people.
You need to allow it. No one, we're over it. But my point is, imagine if I said something like that now on this pod about a Jewish woman.
Oh yeah, it's going to be
right. I would not only would I get cancelled,
you probably get arrested.
I get arrested. Every social media platform I have will be disconnected and deleted, and it would be an issue. People will be outside my house.
Yeah.
People will be. I'd be burning at the stake.
Burn the fish.
Yeah, literally. Steam the fish. Steam him. I'd be burning at the stake.
I would be a hashtag about nude fam.
And that would, and the same if we said it about an Asian woman, not as much uproar, but it would still be more than Dionne got. If I said anything about a trans person now.
True.
Depending on who that trans person is. Because in my opinion, the conversation, race does play a part.
Oh yeah, of course, like a black trans person. Oh yeah. Just a normal trans person. Just about a normal, someone in the public eye.
Okay.
I would be ostracized online. People would be vying for my blood. My kids have issues.
Even then,
all sorts of stuff. You reckon?
I reckon. Because there's a difference between, so for example, if I can't speak, is it Laverne something?
The black woman?
Yeah.
The American?
Yeah. If you said something about her, there would be a bit of uproar in our community.
Oh yeah.
But in the white...
Oh yeah, standard. Yeah.
But then if you flip that and then you go to someone else, I don't know. That's the thing, I don't even know who else.
If I said something about Sam Smith,
it's a rap.
Or whatever they call themselves now. If I said something disparaging about them,
what is his name? Not Sam Smith anymore.
It's they them.
It's they. See, I'm good with the pronouns. See, I'm good with the pronouns. All right, the growth.
It's important.
I just genuinely didn't know.
Yeah. So it's they them. So if I said something about they or them, I would get slaughtered. Right. So so the point I'm making is, I don't know what it is, but I kind of do and I don't. But for some reason, we are fair game. When it comes to online stuff,
this is true.
You can say anything.
No, it's true.
About us. Yeah.
With no reprimand.
Your account's not getting flagged. The tweets aren't getting disabled. Nothing is happening. Yeah. The minute I say something, I called. There's a youth online. He always pops up. He's black, but he always has something negative to say about black people. And he's this guy. Racism racism's not real. You lot got a chip on your shoulder. Da, da, da. Now I don't know if he's doing it for engagement or he's doing it because he's genuine. Nah. He's like, yeah, he doesn't.
Listen, there's man that weird like that, you know.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's doing it for engagement or I don't know if he's doing it because he genuinely believes it. But I called him something in a tweet, right? And that tweet immediately got flagged. Yeah? But I've seen other people call or say things in tweets and those tweets don't get flagged. But from a black person to a black person,
That got flagged.
it got flagged. But anything else that is said on there never gets flagged up. And you know why it is? Because even before obviously everything's drawn off, it's powered by algorithms, right?
Yeah.
So every single thing that we see on is pushed and it's pushed for a reason. So since everyone's got this blue tick thing, racism it's been monetized, isn't it?
And you know what? On that point, right? I feel like when I see people engaging with people who are very clearly, blatantly being racist, I just kind of feel like
Stop doing it.
yeah, because
And I'm a killer for that as well because I do it sometimes, but I need to stop.
because the thing is, you know what it is? Like when you engage with it, it just feeds them.
And it pays them too.
And it pays them
Now it
too.
does,
Yeah,
But
it pays them.
I think the difficulty with that is, I think it's a habit that we've actually had to do now because I think for me, it really got louder in 2020 after George Floyd. Like we have to actively now. I can't be a victim. That's how I've had to take. I can't be a silent victim or what do I call it?
A passive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But you know, this is the thing. I don't know if did you say this the other day? But I'm sure I saw someone say it, and they were like, "There's literally no point in having these back and forth with these people because more often than not, their face."
Yeah, you never even see 'em.
Isn't on there,
Something weird.
and then in real life,
They wouldn't say nothing
when
to you.
you see
They wouldn't say
see
nothing
these
to you.
people, they're as nice
They
as
wouldn't
pie.
say nothing to you. They wouldn't say nothing.
Do you know what I mean?
They wouldn't say a thing
So
to you.
again, it's like we have a set of racist keyboard warriors who get a kick out of getting
Winding
a
us up.
reaction
Winding
from
us
winding
up.
us up. And I genuinely feel like we have bigger battles to fight than internet trolls.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
And the first one is trying to make it so you can't say nothing about us online because the backlash is going to be
Something.
immense. But you know the only way to do that, and someone said something about community.
That's what. Yeah.
We don't have the reason you can't say nothing about a Jewish person.
Yeah, 'cause,
online
yeah, that's true.
Is because the Jewish people they vote. So this is why as soon as anything was said about a Jewish person, Rishi and everyone jumped in. We abhor anti-Semitism of any kind, and they build everything around anti-Semitism or whatever else because they vote. We don't vote. We don't vote. We don't donate no money to no parties. We don't get on with each other. We don't have any leverage as a set of people. We don't have any leverage to make it so you have to defend us. There's nothing in them being our ally.
We actually don't have any community.
We don't have nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing in.
there's no community
There's nothing
cohesion.
Yeah.
A Jewish person can call up Rishi or call up somebody and say, listen, I've given you lot. Yeah? Do you know how much money I've given you in donations in the last 5 years? You need to do something about this. I'm not happy. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nepotism. It's a real thing. They'll do it. And then they'll have to, my man's just called us now. We got to do something. Release a statement. Cool. Diane Abbott gets dissed. Silence.
Nah, and you know what? I read somewhere that she stood up like 46,
She stood up, they blew her out.
46 times. I watched the footage.
and the speaker didn't say anything.
Not only the speaker, forget about the speaker, not one other person in that room
Even tried to defend
said,
her.
you know my girl standing up here.
Like even the people sitting either side of her
Everybody saw
were
her.
acting like
Everyone's like this. Because there's no, and then what we do, there's nothing to gain from standing with us. There's nothing to gain from it because the only time it was cool was when everyone was indoors and we had nothing else to do. When George Floyd, because that happens all the time.
Yeah, true.
The only time the whole world was standing with us and doing stuff performative.
So they could go out and get outside.
So they could go outside. There's people standing up doing speeches and crying, and people are pop locking in front of police, and there's all kinds of there's black squares, and there's this and there's that. Companies were getting involved. Like there's people putting up Black Lives Matter posters in their houses because nobody had anything else to do.
Yeah, true.
So it gave everybody something. They didn't care.
No, but
they didn't care because when these things happen here now, where are these people? When Dionne Abbott was they threatened to shoot her. He wants people to shoot this woman. Where the same people?
You know what? There was a protest the other day.
They weren't a protest. People went and this is what we do. And don't upset. Don't get me started. I'm going to start venting. This is what we do. We go and we stand up in front of places, and someone gives a speech and somebody sings.
Look what happened when England lost the Euro finals, fam. They locked off. They locked off basically the whole.
Yes.
Like they were fighting security in Wembley. They were moving mad, and whatever we did, we just looked like, that's all mad. You know?
That's all mad.
But when we started protesting, especially after what happened with there was something else that happened, and what happened with Chris?
Chris Cabot.
And when we marched, there was bare misinformation about how it turned violent, and how it did this, how it did that. But when it comes to anything to do with our community specifically, there's always just a negative PR or PS.
Of course it is. Yeah. Because it feeds the algorithm. It travels.
Black is bad.
It travels. You can't even go places and just act properly. Why can't you just act properly? But they don't tell you that it kicked off when they had the Sarah Everard thing.
Yeah.
And the women over there were whiling. The middle class white women were whiling with the police.
They were getting judo flipped by them officers.
They don't tell you that. And the police are having a hard time with that. They don't tell you that. That's not common knowledge.
And they buried that case into infinity because the only reason why we're aware of it is because
it was a white woman.
Yeah.
Who was killed by
a police officer.
Who was abusing his power that they've been doing with us for ages.
No, but literally a month later, there was a black girl who went missing, and 2 police officers shared a photo of her dead body in a WhatsApp group.
Oh, the sisters?
Yes, the sisters.
The 2 sisters.
Yeah.
The sisters.
And, I was like, wait, hold on.
And
nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
The man are still on active duty.
Nothing happened. Because they don't, like I said, there's nothing to gain there's nothing to gain from standing with us, and we don't stand with us. Because we will still do the infighting and the nonsense. I can't see you do well because now I can't be happy for you.
Do you think that's still a thing?
It's still a thing. It happens online all the time. People do it all the time. If he buys a house,
if I buy,
I'm sitting, instead of me saying, "Oh, well done," I'm gonna be like, "Oh, well, it's a bit small," or
it won't be. It's a bit small. It'll be like, why are your windows like that?
Yeah, or something like we've always got to shoot down.
Really?
Yeah,
because it's Twitter.
I don't.
You see it all the time.
I don't see that.
I'm not gonna knock. There are people actually trying to do work to bring the community together.
Yeah, there are a lot of community initiatives and people that are actively trying.
They are actively trying, but I think that as much as, because we are having discussions here about being black in Britain, we want the community to come together, but I think we don't actually have a unifying voice.
No, there's no one person. And when we do have moments, right, and this is the Welsh, and it's mad that things happen round about the same time, right? So in and amongst all the Dionne Abbott stuff was going on, the guy in Wales he's mixed.
Yeah.
He's now the head of the Welsh Labour Party. So he's essentially the leader of Wales. So he's the first person of colour to be the leader of a European country ever.
Shout out to my man.
Right? Something Gethin, his name is.
Let me Google that.
So Google it. When that happened, it was off the back of the Dionne stuff happening. So the optics of it made it look like you're giving us that to deflect us from that. So everybody, instead of being happy about it and rallying behind this person, everyone's thing was, Vaughan Geffin. Everyone's thing was, you're only doing that because to make us forget about this. And so even if there was a voice to unify us, and we've got voices. We've got voices, but unless it's a rapper or a footballer or somebody like that, if it's a Gethin, a Vaughan Geffin, or a Dionne Abbott, or give me a next one. Give me the next one. What's that black guy's name? He's on LBC.
Oh, David Lammy.
Or David Lammy or somebody for your normal walk around. They'll say he's not really one of us.
Yeah, I was about to, because
he's not really one of us. He's not really. But we don't have. If we're looking at somebody of our generation now, that's actively, and it doesn't appear like they're doing it for themselves. Because I could name people, I'm not going to, but I could name people that people will say, "Oh, what about my man? What about my man?"
No, but Carla's doing.
Right? And I'm not saying it's not that kind of conversation, so I'm not going to start naming people, but depending on who you ask and the rooms you're in, there are people that will feel like the usual names that come up, they only do it when it benefits them, or there's a spotlight on them or thing. In your normal day-to-day stuff, like with the Dionne Abbott stuff, think about how many people were vocal that looked like us, that were vocal, that actually tried to take up for this woman. The majority of the clips you see is white BBC news people taking people to task because of what this guy said.
But can I interject? The media aren't stupid. So the people that they've brought on to talk about Dionne Abbott they were all basically Tory. They were black Tory people.
No, I'm talking about I'm not even talking about them. I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about the woman that took my girl to task on GMB News. She was blonde. She took her to task.
Yeah, but what's her name? The presenter, the one
with the funny hair. I don't know her name. But
her hair's irrelevant. But what I'm saying is, she works for GB News. So she's getting a check to chat rubbish,
to talk nonsense. But I'm saying the people that were our voices.
She's not a voice for us.
No, she's not a voice for us. I'm saying our voices, the people that we would expect or want to rally, have been quiet. And this is how. So
can you give me an example?
I'm not saying an example because it would change the whole conversation to a whole different thing. No. I'm not.
No, because I just want to get out.
No. Anyone that writes books, anyone that was active when COVID was a thing and people were telling people that it's radiation and COVID's not real. Those people, those people have been very quiet with all this Dionne Abbott stuff. In fact, a lot of people have been very quiet defending this woman. Yeah? But these are the same people that were walking around when COVID was happening and people were marching and then giving impassioned speeches and people are crying and do you know what I mean? Yeah. So and this is what I'm saying. It's only and it goes back to what you're saying about voices. It would take somebody to be constant and consistently vocal about everything that's going on.
But then they also would need the opportunity for that, and I don't think we get those opportunities.
I mean, you can make it an opportunity, you know?
Okay, so for example, we have, I would say, Kelechi. Yeah?
I'd agree with that.
Kelechi is consistent and she speaks loudly and she's been doing that from day dot. From like
and she does
2017, 18. Shout out to Kelechi, had her on back in 2018.
And they mute her.
Right. So, but then also it's like...
But then no one stands with her. Men don't stand with her.
There you go. So imagine how exhausting it is for her that she's being loud, she's being vocal, she's going on the news, she's doing all of this.
And the people that you're defending...
And the same people you're defending aren't defending you,
100%.
But they want to talk about the fact that your man's white or he's Polish.
They don't care about that.
That's just something, because if it wasn't that, it'd be something else.
But you know what annoys me about that is I'm not intending to take a point, but you know what annoys me about that when we do have people that are actually trying to speak out for us or actually trying to our own people start to nitpick about
don't
matter. I'm like, yo, she's at least saying something that is being heard and makes sense. But he's saying something that is being heard or that makes sense. But yeah, everyone wants to focus on but how can you be doing that when your husband's Polish? Who gives a fuck? Pardon my language.
It's the same thing with the house and the windows. It's the same thing. Same mentality.
Do you think? Because I was thinking this the other day. the lack of community cohesion. Is it a bit of a stretch to expect? Because black is an umbrella term.
Yeah.
We don't all come from the same place.
Nope. But we're all the same. We look the same.
But we look the same.
Yeah. Right.
So actually, why is there an expectation that because we fall under this umbrella that's been created as black, that we should all because
That
like,
we should all ride with each other.
right? And
Because we do. And I can actually
Yeah,
point
no,
out why.
no. Okay, I'll hold that
Yeah.
point. Yeah, but what I mean is, for example, like historically, Ghanaians and Nigerians have had a problem with each other, right?
You know when they didn't have a problem with each other?
I know,
No, I tell you, no. Do you know when every single black person in this country didn't have a problem with each other? Shall I tell you when? Because I used to hear the stories. You know, see when everybody came here first, and the Teddy boys and that used to try and run people down and fight people. You would, you're Ghanaian, it's all right because he's going to beat us up. So we have to be friends.
Friends,
now.
yeah.
And there was unity.
There was unity, yeah.
I don't know what happened and where that got lost, but somewhere along the line, it's gone.
Yeah,
and
it
that,
left.
I'm telling you, if that would have carried on, whatever that spark was, that started the carnival and started the riots up the road when the Antiguan guy got killed and all of that, there's stuff you can find online. If all these things that we used to riot over continue to happen, I guarantee we wouldn't be in the position we are now. Because people, and this is why, right? This is why there was a point when people were too afraid to say certain things to people because you would have got your head bust. Yeah? And that's a fact. In and amongst that, things still used to happen. Stephen Lawrence, whatever,
You know
RIP. But for the most part, the fact that as a unit, when we are together and we are all standing with each other, you can't talk to us.
Yeah, you can't.
The minute you start separating us and say, well, you're Ghanaian, you go there. You're Bayesian, you eat monkey brains. You're all these little silly things that people say to cause division. The minute that starts happening, then there's room for everyone to come in and cause problems. And that's where we are now.
No, but to go back to the
Good
earlier
point,
point,
yeah.
is that, and the reason why we do is because, you know, when you step into a particular new space in an industry that is always white dominated, tell me that
You don't look.
when you look for someone, you don't look for that one other person that you're black.
No.
And that little breath of release that you have.
Yeah, like there is someone here.
Because you got an ally.
Yeah.
You got
an ally.
So in that same breath, we do look for that, and that's what community is. I want to know that no matter where I am in this world, that I have that one space. Whether it could be one person, it could be 15. I know that, you know what, I've got that safe space there. That's what other communities have. They have their safe spaces. We don't have that in our community consistently. Churches are not a safe space.
They're not.
No.
Mosques have not become a safe space for us. I'm not saying that. That's what I've heard. I'm the mosque. I'm just saying. But in certain spaces where we seek comfort, where we seek reassurance, where we seek to have a voice to say, you know, I'm not okay right now. As a community, we don't have that. And we don't have people that can actually articulate those pains and struggles that we face on a regular basis for us. Confidently as well. Because sometimes there are some people that are talking, I'm not listening to you. Because you're not speaking to my regular experience. You're speaking the sum total of, I don't know, someone who doesn't go through that.
Or it's not genuine.
Yeah.
Because it's not. Because you're talking about me getting stopped by police. You're not talking. Everyone gets stopped by police. I'm not going to say that we don't experience it more harshly than others, but people now get stopped by police. What about if it's the same policeman that keeps stopping me for no reason? What if it's the same policeman when he's driving by, he's always doing gun fingers at me? What about those experiences there? Because those are things that happen. What about those civil and cultural liberties that people and other institutions take with us? Why do you not speak about that? They probably do, but not. They don't speak to the specifics. They speak to the broader
sense of it.
And I think that's whereas other communities, they make sure that they go to specifics. So, for example, there's a young boy. There's a video that was online, and he was in Carlisle, and then there's this little, and they basically these little white kids have run up to him. He's just an innocent youth on his way home, and he's gone to him, kiss my shoes.
Yeah.
No, and there's adults walking
Yeah,
back,
no, yeah.
walking back.
Yeah.
He's getting punched in the chest, all of that, and then he's like, kiss my boots. The boots are muddy and dirty.
Yeah, I couldn't even watch it.
And I had to watch that, and I had to affirm it. And then in the end of the video, you can hear someone shout,
Yeah,
"Oi!"
and that's what stops it. Innit?
Yeah. But after that, it's like it's not until that video's gone viral,
yeah.
that the police have.
Yeah, of course. Because if it didn't, and this is what I'm saying, if that didn't go viral, then they wouldn't have got nicked. But if the shoe was on the other foot,
Fam, man,
you get my house straight away. I don't usually bit, and that's what it's, and that's why, and this is the exhausting part. Because how many times are you going to watch stuff like that? It's tiring, man. It's tiring. Like you got to think, and it's what I'm saying. People are too comfortable saying things online. There's a certain demographic of people that are too comfortable saying things online. They're too comfortable posting stuff, and they're too comfortable not being afraid to voice certain opinions and be loud and be out and proud about it, because there's no repercussions. But before, they used to get, you'd get a smack, or something would happen, or thing. And the little things that they have that are in place that are supposed to stop this stuff from happening, but they don't get arrested. That guy didn't get arrested for what he said about Dionne Abbott.
No,
right? They don't even want to give him back his money.
Yeah,
that was a conversation. But that was a conversation. From some of the Tories are like, we're for running back his loans. We can't keep it. They don't even want to give him back. £10 million is a lot of money in for an apology.
And the thing is, Madam, I say, wait, hold on, wait. She's not really one of us, though.
But he gives us money.
Like we're the conservative party. That's a Labour problem. Like she's lit. And all respect to Dionne Abbott, because it takes a brave person to endure, because she's endured a lot.
She goes through it. She goes through it.
She'll be sitting like I remember seeing the dumbest article I've seen is that she was on the train and she's just having a little can of gin, and I'm like, brother.
They took her to town. They dragged her through the mud.
You know how much conservatism has been done for child fiddling? Over the years.
She's in court right now for divorce, and you man are talking to man about.
Man's got multiple picnic out of wedlock, multiple. You want to, and the same woman that's having the drink. She's probably having a drink because you lot keep hassling and stressing this woman out. Yeah, she gets for every. And I'm not a massive Dionne Abbott fan. And it goes to what you're saying. I'm not a massive Dionne Abbott fan, but she's a black woman, right? Standard. So for that fact alone. All right, you could talk the most nonsense. We'll talk about that afterwards. That's an us problem. Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, everybody should have. If you wanted to march, you know what you should have marched? Straight to the Houses of Commons. If you don't want to organise a march and make a difference, and everybody stand up outside there, and no one's not coming inside it until that man apologises. Because that's the only thing that's going to matter. We go for walks. We'll go something happened in Tottenham or something. We'll go for a walk, Parliament Square. Or we'll go for a walk somewhere else. It's not going to change anything.
I think possibly another reason why black people are a little bit about rioting now. Remember the 2011 riots after?
Because we went too far.
But it wasn't just us, Kieron.
We went too far.
No, but it wasn't just us.
But it was a black brother that got shot.
It doesn't have to be just us, because it wasn't just us, though. It wasn't just us, but there was enough of us for it to be just us. Yeah, and it's because if that was Timothy from up the road.
But Timothy was there,
and Timothy got shot, and everybody went rioting for Timothy. If there were more of us there, it would be we did that. It'd be our fault. No matter what, whatever it looks, everything will always be. It's you lot's fault.
But you know what's mad? Because the images are that we burnt down that poor innocent carpet shop,
the carpet shop,
and then we burnt down
JD Sports,
in Foot Locker in Brixton,
Curry's,
all of that. Ran up in there, stealing TVs and whatever. And who did you see get arrested? Black people.
Yeah, because
but white people were arrested as well. They were teachers and all this kind of stuff. So, but they just weren't on the front page.
Of course not.
On the front page, I remember I didn't see nobody that did not
look like
me.
Yeah, 100%, because it wouldn't sell papers.
But I remember back then. I remember specifically back then that. I'm not going to say that we're a little bit silly sometimes, right? But
no, we are. We are. We're wonderful, but we're also very silly sometimes too. That can be fair.
everyone was mashing up their own areas.
Yeah, that's what we do.
So, like places like Richmond, Wimbledon,
That's what we
it was
do.
quiet as a mouse.
That's what we do.
So you didn't trouble like
Nah, it's too
trouble
far.
those
It's too
ends.
far to travel.
That's far, you know, and it's
this
awkward
is,
as well.
But this is what I'm saying about, and this goes back to what I'm saying about the marching and stuff. We will march up our high road to protest something that you lot are doing in the Houses of Commons. We will march up the Uxbridge Road from Shepherd's Bush Market to Hyde Park Corner, and that's as far as whoever's organised it. This is us taking a stand, right?
But we're tired.
No, but
Kieron.
I get that. But then, so we need to find something else to do because I'd be tired too if all I ever did was walk. I'd be tired too. So we need to find something else to do because when with the Gaza thing and all of that, they'll go and shut down a whole bridge,
Yeah.
and they have no problems. They'll go and shut down the entire bridge and make it awkward.
Yeah.
For people to get to work, so now you're forcing the conversation. You now have to engage with me.
But you okay, but
We'll go and light candles outside of a town.
no,
hall.
okay, but at the same time, we know as Black people that the level of aggression we will be met with in those we're not going to be handled. You see, like the oil protesters. What were they called?
Just stop oil.
Yeah.
Right. They're locking off whole roads.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
But if we were to do something like that, we wouldn't be met with that same, even that level of grace there.
But then you know what?
Right.
Maybe that's what needs to happen.
Someone's got to take one for the team.
We all need to take one for the team because we will tell people that there is an equality in how we're treated, and people will say to us,
But then to go back to your point, so who's taking the...
I don't know, all of us, everybody has to do it. Everybody has to do it.
So should we go
In
and
some
lie
way,
down?
shape or form.
Should we go and lie down?
In whatever.
Okay,
in whatever.
Kieron, me and you
I'm
gonna
not lying down. But I'm not lying down. I'm not lying down. But if there's something that happens, and if something happens to you and you call me and say to me, listen, this has just happened to my cousin and something, and I want to go and I'm going to organise something and I want to go and I want you there and I'm cool. I'm there. If we all get nicked, I'm there. But if you're calling me and telling me, oh, we need to do something and we need to walk up the road and we need to sing some random church song and we need to stand on the steps of Hackney Town Hall and do a speech and the people that we're trying to address aren't anywhere near where we are, then that's a no from me. And this is the problem because the voices, some of our biggest, most eloquent voices that would rally people, they can't. As much as they're for us, they're also paid by
them.
Yeah. So as much as whoever's got a book out and whoever's doing touring in Africa and building wells and doing all the rest of it, if you follow the money in some way, shape or form, there is somebody that doesn't look like them that is going to pick up the phone and say, listen, what are you doing? Actors, musicians, sports people. Oh, Marcus Rashford was doing the thing with the food. They almost killed him because you're doing too much.
Yeah.
But somebody has to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And not stop and make it because it doesn't look genuine. It looks very disingenuous if you only ever pop up round about the time you got a book coming out. Yeah. It doesn't for me.
Or if your album needs to
if your album's dropping.
Or you got a concert
you're trying to sell out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or you got an interview coming up on. It's not genuine. It's not genuine. We had people that would get itch up just to have a conversation with 50 or 60 people in a room here and in the States as a collective set of black people. Yeah. At no point have we ever had anybody like Malcolm, anybody like Marcus Garvey, anybody like Martin Luther King, nobody. And the people we do have, the Jay-Z's, the Kanye Wests, the whoever's, they're so tied up with the money, the Stormzy's, the whoever else is, they're so tied up with this money and everybody's trying to do their thing that it's either you're too busy, you don't care until it hits close to home. Let something happen to one of your people and it's now all of a sudden we're trying to rally up. The only time, and I keep going back to it, the only time everyone did rally was when no one else had nothing to do. How many things have happened since then? Everybody's pim, no one's quiet. Let someone have a book launch and see how many Oxford trips and and all the rest of it. You see them speaking eloquently. Everybody's resharing. We can all do sound bites.
Yeah.
I can start reading off figures about, tell you to go and look at Enoch Powell's River of Blood speech and start reading off lines from that, or tell you to go and pull up one of Malcolm X's speeches, how everyone, they always tell us not to like our hair and not to like this. We can all do that, and it's a great soundbite. But what happens after it?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be Malcolm, no one wants to be Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah, nothing happens after it. So what? But then you're getting accolades.
But then it's like, I think, are we not? I think again, the conversation is now coming back down to financial power. We don't have the financial power to be able to, I guess, or we seemingly don't think we do.
We would do if we all supported each other.
If we had the level of community cohesion, actually, because the Black Pound,
we spend money on nothing. We spend money in places they don't even want us to go into.
You know what's mad? You know what's mad? We actually have our own. We have, you know, black businesses, the Black Pound enterprise. We have our own business where we can actually have our own little ecosystem. That's what the whole function of it is.
Every time we got our own ecosystem.
Big up Swiss as well.
When we're doing crime.
But why is it any time a black business puts out a product, everyone suddenly just questions that?
Because people are wicked.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. There are some businesses that are questionable.
I mean, I question everything, to be honest, business-wise.
I mean,
I question everything.
There are some businesses
I don't want to give you my money. I don't want to give you my, and it's mad. I feel like this is a very British thing as well. I won't spend my money with you.
Yeah.
But I'll go and spend my money somewhere where they don't want me to spend it. You don't want me here. Nightclubs, perfect example. He can open a bar.
And
I'm not going to his bar. His bar's lit.
Bar's lit.
Right? You're not going to turn women away. You're not going to do nothing. His bar is lit. Mm-hmm. There's this bar over here that has made it very obvious they don't want us in there. Why are we still going to this bar? Because
the reason why and not me, but the reason why people will still go to those bars is because them getting into that bar gives them a sense of validation. It makes them feel like, well, I'm good enough. Whether that's registering in their conscious brain, it's making them feel like, well, I'm good enough. I'm better than you. I'm better than you because you've not been able to get in.
And that's the issue. Everyone wants to be better than in our community. They want to be better than the other person. No one's actually trying to build that collective hub together. And
because it's all some versus thing. Do you know what? I always have a thought, and it's one of these days I'm actually going to do it. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but somebody needs to just start. Because you know what people always say, especially with politics, there's no one for us. Yeah. Oh, they're not. You're not. They didn't come up like we came up. You're not a real black person. And it would take a lot to do this, and it would be a proper test. You know, you can set up an independent, because I've looked into it. You can just set up a party. Yeah. You pay a fee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You pay a fee. You register some people. And you can be voted for.
But you see, there's a tricky thing with that. The tricky thing with that is you'd have doubts about who's in that party from.
No, but I'm saying me. Just one of these days, and when the devil gets in me, I might do it. I'm gonna wake up one day and I'm gonna register a party, right? And I'm gonna come with a manifesto that is solely aimed at black people. Yeah, schooling, online safety bill, nurseries, but NHS, anything.
You know what? In America, and because in a lot of fictional TV, they have something in political language called the Black Caucus, and they have a lot of voting power. Yeah, they might not hold a bit, but they have voting power.
And we have that here, you know. We have that here. No, we do. It's just it would take something to get everybody on one page to say, you know what, I quite like this guy or I quite like this woman, because then you wouldn't get you grew up with mixed race parents, or you went to a private school, or the things that people say to take away from. Do you know what I mean? That would be the ultimate test, because if that, the only way you're going to know if something if it's changed here really, is for there to be something, because we don't vote en masse.
No.
Right?
But should we be expected to?
What, to vote en masse?
En masse,
Yes,
yeah.
of course, because then we'd have leverage.
But then what would we complain about when every time?
We'd have leverage.
I like your idea. I kind of feel like maybe there should be a few that actually in the background are working together,
Yeah,
but we're making it look like
it's
But
four
that's what
separate
parties
things.
are.
Well, yeah, exactly, right,
That's
yeah.
how politics works. Like we're not supposed to make it bait that we're supporting each other.
But we're supporting each
But we're
other.
supporting each other.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna talk about you like you're a prick.
Yeah.
But deep down,
Yeah.
brother, listen, man, just gotta make sure that it's
Yeah.
But here's what happens. You know, things get too personal. And sometimes people don't lack the
finesse.
that political finesse to be able to say, you know what, this is just to uplift the community.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. Politics isn't about personal gain. It's about benefiting the community, the wider whole. But for some people, they see it as it is about power to a degree, and how you flex that power, but for the wider community.
We need leverage.
I wonder what the kickback would be from, like, you know, the EDLs.
They just dig up all your. For me, they just dig up my whole criminal record.
They'll
just dig up stuff.
They'll dig up stuff on your
Yeah,
family. They'll find out how your one uncle got arrested.
and
Everything.
then they'll you know, we're gonna have a couple Judases.
Yeah,
they're gonna
of course.
infiltrate. And
But that's the only. And like I'll say it, I make light of it, and you know, what I mean, I might hit 50 and really do it because just for the sake of it. But we need some form of leverage, yeah, to stop to make even if it's just to level the playing field a little bit. And the only way it's going to happen is if we engage with each other a little bit more, and we stop waiting for reports to tell us what we already know, innit?
And I'm going to say this so clearly, I'm not voting Labour, fam.
Well, because what? I mean, we ain't got no one else to vote for.
I'm voting Green Party still.
Are they a thing still?
Yeah, you know.
Who's the head of the Green Party? We're going to go off topic for a second. Who's the head of the Green Party?
I actually don't know.
But
So how are you going to vote for them if you don't know?
Man,
You see that? That's being black in Britain. That is being black in Britain.
But it's strategic in a sense, because it's like, I'm not going to vote for Tory or Labour or Lib Dems either, to be quite frank with you. So let me just shift.
Them man, they care about the environment, they care about the NHS, they care about actually trying to make the society inclusive. That's the manifesto that they said.
That's always been the manifesto.
Yeah, and I'm riding for that one there, because
who's in charge of it? You need to tell me who's their person. Google it right now.
The brother that I followed on Twitter, real quick, hold on, let me pull that up.
That's mad.
Hold on, because
you know who would have been a good for us as a figurehead?
Who?
Chaka Amunu. Amunu?
I swear he started his own independent party.
No, he didn't. They shut him up.
Yeah,
when
they
he was,
did
when
very,
he was
very,
getting, he
very
was,
quickly.
He was getting.
Yeah,
I remember I was away when that was happening, so I was spending a lot of time watching the news in my cell, and it was you could see it.
Yeah,
and everything was talking to him, and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
All right, so it's Carla Denya and Adrian Ramsey.
Yeah, I can't do that.
But there was a brother that I followed on Twitter that he's done that. You white.
Oh, see, can't do that.
I mean, we could start somewhere.
No,
we could get. You see, they got a black Green Party. I'll vote for, man.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, so what are we saying? Should we set up a black Green?
I think we should just do it.
You know what? Yeah.
Black Green
A social experiment. A social experiment.
Shall we?
Why not?
Yeah. Okay, viewers, what do you think?
Why not? Do a poll. Do a poll at the end of this and just see. And just see. We'll do it next year and just see. Because when they do the local elections, the Monster Raven Looney Party is still there. They get votes. You know?
Yeah.
They do, you know.
They get votes. That guy turns up in that weird suit and he stands there because he's getting voted for. And I don't even know what he stands for, but he's there. So
we could be there.
Something's got to give in it. If you know what I mean, something's got to give. What's the worst that can happen? Channel 4 picks it up. It turns into a documentary. Like something's got to give.
I wonder if he do the voiceover for that, fam. That would be
my man.
What we did?
Munya.
Yeah.
Munya. This could be a picture, no? I'm telling you. I'm on it.
You know what? I'll be down.
I'm on it. I will be.
What we in?
I'm on it. I'm on it. I look good in the suit. I'm on it.
I'm on it.
I'm on it.
All right, cool.
And I'll colour it purple.
Purple. No,
Yeah.
wait, hold on.
Or we'll do a mix of all the flags, all the black flags.
Yeah.
So it's the unity party.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm on it, you know? I'm on it.
Should we do it?
I'm on it.
Let's do it.
I'm on it. The
I'm
unity
on that.
party.
Unity party.
The unity party.
Done.
Unity party.
All right, cool.
And just see, and we'll get Chucker to do the narrative, the narration for the docu, and we'll just pitch it and see what happens. I'm telling you, something's got to give.
Okay, guys. Well, if you want to send in some donations to support our campaign that we're launching,
We'll show you where every single penny went.
every single penny. Every single
Every
penny.
single penny. We'll show you every single penny goes.
But yeah, anyway, it's nice to be back at your big age.
I thought you were going to say it's nice to be back and it's good to be black.
I like it.
I say, wow. Is that you're on? Wow.
It's good to be back, and it's so nice to be black.
And also,
Make racists afraid again.
I might start printing these and selling them.
Yeah,
You should, you know.
You should.
Yeah, with caps, matching caps.
That could be like our merchandise.
I think
Right there.
party merch.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Watch.
All right, let's do it.
I'm telling you, this is a thing.
You see, right now, this is business plan, right?
Right,
This could be a
live
thing.
on screen.
This could be a thing.
Stephen, thank you so much
problem,
for
my man.
coming on again.
Always a pleasure.
You know we're going to have you back again soon.
I'll be happy to be back. Just had a part of the channel now, so I'll go.
Yeah. Cool. My co-host Kieron.
And I don't know when this is coming up, but I promise.
No, it's coming out Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
I promise we are going to be more consistent.
Yes.
Because people keep stopping me in the street, not an exaggeration,
Yeah, it's real.
and saying, right, what happened to you? What happened to you? A couple of people even said, the dudes that have said this to me, I was in shock because I didn't know you watched anything I did. So they were like, right, you man, so you not still doing your thing? I said, yeah. Oh, I ain't seen it still. So for them, it's got to come back. That's
back.
off.
That one's still going.
Oh.
We're back.
Yeah, so we'll be back. Consistently.
Yes.
Consistently consistent.
Consistently consistent. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you week after next.
Laters.
It's a wrap.
Love laid bare.